To make this lovely chicken dum biryani, I have here some pieces of chicken, boneless breast pieces, drumsticks and chicken liver. Remember, in a dum biryani, you need to have chicken with bone. You need to have a chicken liver to get the flavor. And in case you like boneless pieces, you can have the boneless breast pieces as well. Now to make this, I'm going to need about 4 to 5 tablespoons of yogurt. Now you could add the yogurt liquid to this biryani because we're going to anyways cook this chicken, so it's fine, you can add some liquid. It's perfectly alright. Lovely. Now to this I'm going to add 1 tablespoonful of ginger garlic paste. Lovely. Okay, add 1/4 teaspoonful of lemon powder to this, 1 teaspoonful of white pepper powder. Okay, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoonful of cumin powder, 1 teaspoonful of turmeric powder, 1/2 teaspoonful of red pepper powder, and 1/2 teaspoonful of red chili powder. Add 1/2 teaspoonful of salt. Ensure the salt is right. It's extremely important. Add 1/2 teaspoonful of Shahi Garam Masala powder. And you can add some biryani masala. Now you can add any of the ones which are popularly available, or I make this biryani masala at home, so but you could really add any of the ones which are available outside, because anyways the magic ingredient will be when the way it's cooked, so don't really worry too much about the biryani masala. Add about 4 teaspoons full of this biryani masala. Lovely. Now mix all this real good. Okay, that's nice. Now I'm going to let this marinate for at least 5 to 6 hours, and then I'm going to show you what to do. To make this lovely chicken dum biryani, we're going to need about 2 cups of basmati rice. So I have soaked this into 3 cups of water, and I'm going to cook this basmati rice in my microwave, which is why I've kept it in a glass bowl. But you can cook it separately outside as well. Only thing is, if you cook it outside, ensure you add the right amount of water and drain the rice off at the right time, because it just has to be about 80% cooked. So when you take the grain in your hand and you try and break it, it should break. Okay, that is 80% cooked, but it's not 100% done. That's how it should be. So I'm just going to keep this aside, and I've been soaking this rice for about 20 minutes. So here I have a nice non-stick hollow bottom pan, and which is a nice cooking dish, and I've added about 2 tablespoons of oil to this. To this I am going to add my some of my whole garam masala, so that I could add it to my rice to flavor off my rice. Lovely. So I have here some 4 green cardamoms. I have 2 cinnamon sticks. I have 4 to 5 bay leaves. Lovely. And I have 2 green chilies that I have slit at the center. Okay, to this I'm going to add 4 cloves. Okay, and 7 to 8 curry leaves. So once these begin to sizzle, just kind of stir fry them for 1 to 2 minutes, and you see that they have begun sizzling. Then you need to add these to your bowl of rice. So I'm just gonna kind of drain these off like this and add it to my bowl which has my rice. Lovely. It's perfectly fine if you end up adding a little oil to your rice. Don't worry, it'll be nice and moist. Okay. Okay, so here is my bowl of rice with the stuff that I just stir fried. Okay, to this I'm going to add just about quarter teaspoon of garam masala powder. So I'm using Shahi garam masala. The difference is this has the Shahi jeera. Okay, and I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of cumin powder. Okay, so that the rice is nice and flavored. So if you like, now you can also roast some cumin seeds. So this is about quarter teaspoon of cumin seed. Okay, while these are dry roasting, I'm going to add the right amount of salt in the rice. Very important. Almost 3/4 to 1 teaspoonful of salt. Ensure you get the salt really right in the rice because the entire flavor of the biryani as such will depend upon the salt that you add in your rice. Okay. So I'm just going to try and add some. Don't add all of them. Just add half the quantity of your shahi jeera to your biryani rice. And that's kind of done. So I'm just going to keep this in my microwave for about 19 minutes and it's going to be 90% done. Lovely. Now in the same oil, I'm just going to fry off stuff that I'm going to need for garnishing. So I have here some 4 green chilies. Okay, I am going to add 4 to 5 peels of finely chopped garlic. Dum biryani is known for its flavor of garlic, so remember you add these. Okay, and I'm going to add 2 medium-sized onions that are finely chopped and they're nice and long, most importantly. It has to be nice and long, so ensure you do that. The flavor of garlic really gives a beautiful fragrance. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to fry this for about 7 to 8 minutes on low flame because I want them to become nice and brown. I'm going to use them for my garnishing. So now you see my garnish is absolutely ready. It's nice and roasty. Wow. And this is important because in a dum biryani your garlic and your onion should be in plenty and there has to be garnished on top. So it should be roasted well. Okay. So this is more or less done. Now in the same pan I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Okay. So to this I'm going to add just half the quantity of my garnished onion. Not even half, actually less than half. Just about this much. Okay, to this I'm going to add 1 tomato, finely chopped. Okay. Now we wait until these become nice and soft and ooze out all the moisture. Now you see my tomatoes have become nice and soft and oozed out all the moisture. I'm now going to add 1 tablespoonful of ginger garlic paste. Okay, lovely. Add 1/4 teaspoon of Shahi Garam Masala. Half a teaspoon of curry powder. Lovely. Okay, I'm now going to add my chicken. So here you see I had my marinated chicken, which I had kept in, and it's over 24 hours. You know, it's nice. The meat has got nicely coated with the spices and the yogurt. Lovely. I'm going to toss this into this dish. Okay. I'm going to add 1 cup of water to kind of cook this chicken real good. Lovely. I'm just gonna add nice 1 cup of water to the same marination bowl so that all my spices are back with the water. Lovely. Now mix all this real good. Okay. Don't try and get, don't mix it too much. We don't want the coating that's nicely marinated on the pieces to kind of come out. So as you know, I've added chicken livers, I've added a breast chicken piece, a drumstick, and breast chicken boneless fillets, because we have to get the stock of the chicken as well. To this, I'm just going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Give this a lovely mix. Okay. Okay, I'm now going to close the lid and let this kind of cook so that the water comes down to half its quantity and we have a nice thick paste. So we cook this for about 7 to 8 minutes on medium flame, and then I'm going to show. So I've opened up the lid now, and as you see, the water is half its quantity, and my chicken pieces and my boneless chicken, everything is absolutely cooked, is ready. Wow. And this is the consistency of your liquid. It shouldn't be very thick, it shouldn't be very thin. This should be it, because we want this to soak into our rice and cook the remaining 10% of our rice. So don't make the gravy very thick, otherwise the rice is going to remain very hard and coarse, and it's not going to give that yummy taste that we're looking at. Okay, so this is absolutely correct. And what we're going to need is we're going to need some mint leaves, which we're going to keep aside, and we're going to need some coarse pepper powder. So you could you could make this in the mortar and the pestle, or you could just have ready coarse pepper powder. And so we have 2 kinds of rice now. The first kind of rice I showed you was the rice which had the garam masala and all the spices, the garam masala rice with all the Indian spices cooked together. And the second one is where we've added turmeric powder to our rice. So it's just basically turmeric powder and the rice and the salt. So it gives a nice yellow color to our pot biryani. So now the amazing part is when we make the layers, we're gonna add the yellow rice layer so that it kind of cooks real good at the bottom. And we're gonna keep the flavored rice that's with the spices and garam masala on the top. That's one way of doing it. Now, most importantly, what most people do for a dum biryani, or what we do in our restaurants, is when you add the rice, if this is the gravy, first you're gonna add the flavored rice, that is the rice with the garam masala and the cumin powder and the Indian spices which you added the first time you made the rice, so that they pick up the color of the gravy to an extent, and they also pass on their flavor to your mixture. Okay, and we place the yellow rice on top so that it gives a nice color, and on top of the yellow rice we're going to sprinkle our garnishes, that is the onion and the chilies, most importantly the garlic that we roasted, along with your mint leaves. Now that's going to be the procedure that we're going to follow, because that's the way Dum Biryani is made in our restaurants, and it's originally made that way. So I'm just going to stick to that so that you guys learn the right recipe of Dum Biryani. Lovely. So I'm going to start by adding my flavored rice. Okay. So the option is you could just make 2 to 3 bowls of rice in the flavor one, the way we made it the first time. Or the second option is that you could make one portion of it with the flavored rice and one portion of it with the yellow rice, the way we're doing it today. For the simple reason, now that's just going to add to the flavor. It's got nothing to do with the looks or the appearance. It kind of just adds a little more to the flavor, with the turmeric setting in on top, and this being on bottom, passing on the flavor to the mixture as well. Lovely. Now do you see, when you add this much rice, your gravy or the gravy, which seemed quite a bit, is absolutely gone. Do you see? The reason is that the rice is just 90% cooked, if you remember. So it is slightly raw, isn't it? Which is why it's kind of soaking up all the liquid immediately. That's alright, you don't need to worry about that, because finally we're going to close all this, so it's not going to be a lot of trouble. Okay, now on top of these I'm going to sprinkle some of my garnish, maybe half of the quantity that you have. Now this has to be nice and burnt, so don't hesitate burning this at all. That is your onion. Okay, and my yellow rice is also ready. There you go. I just added turmeric, salt and 2 bay leaves. So this is also ready. Lovely. Now I'm going to toss this into my cooking dish. Remember, your flame has to be to the lowest. That is most important here. Like I said, you could change, you could place the yellow rice at the bottom and the flavored rice at the top. That's really a matter of choice, but this is the way it's originally made, and it looks, because you have 3 flavors of rice basically. The lowest one, which gels in with the mixture, then the middle one, which is just the flavored rice, and the top one, which is your yellow rice. Lovely. Now to this, I'm just going to add my remaining garnish. Yummy. Okay, just kind of spread this around. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some fresh mint leaves. Remember, never chop mint leaves for a biryani. Just kind of break them with your fingers. Don't chop them very fine, because you lose out on the flavor if you start chopping them. Okay. And the last thing that is done in a dum biryani is, of course, pepper powder. So this is how it should be. It should be this coarse, so don't make it too fine. Just sprinkle this on top, just a little. Okay. Now this is really optional, but adds a little spice to the biryani, because remember, your top layer, which is yellow, doesn't really have any spice as such. Okay. Lovely. So I'm just going to close this with a nice glass lid, which is the same lid I'm using, and it's going to be on the lowest flame. It's going to remain like this for the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's about it. Don't cook it anymore. And after 10 to 15 minutes, turn off your gas, and then look at it after about 20-25 minutes open the lid, and then wow, the aroma will be all over in your house, and you're gonna know it as soon as it starts cooking. The aroma will be out because we have very strong spices in this biryani, so not to worry. Now I'm gonna show you after 15 minutes how this brilliant biryani looks. Okay, so it's been good 15 minutes, and after that I switched off my flame and I let this cool down for another 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm now gonna open up. Wow, smells the same. Okay, now the way to check is always try to push down your spoon to the lowest layer and try and lift it like this. You should have no water and it should not be sticking to your dish. Wow, I can literally see 3 layers. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's yellow, it's the flavored rice, and then it's the rice with the gravy. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, look, lovely. Okay, so this is done and it's not even sticking, so our quantity of water was absolutely correct. Now I'm going to serve this nice and hot, but before that I'm going to sprinkle some rich roasted cashew. Lovely. Guys, your dum biryani is absolutely ready. Serve this nice and hot with a dash of lime and salad and some yogurt if you like, and enjoy. So thank you very much, and hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you guys will try it out in your homes. And do write to me if in case you want me to really teach you or to cook with you a recipe of your choice. I'll be more than happy, because I believe in inspiring a lot of people to cook, and now that I have that kind of expertise, I want to pass it on to everyone. So thank you, and see you again in my next video. Bye bye.